I wonder if it's going to play. It is time for happy hour. It is the Man Cave Happy Hour. Whiskey, cigars, spirits, the stories that go along with it. I'm Jamie Flanagan.
I am Matt Fox.
There's whiskey, cigars, and spirits happening in spades tonight.
It's been quite the few days, because this past Saturday we were at the Whiskey Classic.
Whiskey Classic,
and there's a few episodes that are going to be coming up. You listen to podcasts whenever, however, what have you. But we sat down with some really nice folks at that event, and really looking forward to you listening to those episodes. But a few episodes back, Jamie, you had gifted me something, because tonight is all about gifts are fun. We're in the holiday season, and Christmas is less than a week away.
Right.
And, you gifted me a very fantastic engraved bottle of the Old Forester Statesman.
For our anniversary.
For our 5th year anniversary.
I got this bottle engraved. and we talked about this when I gave it to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, let's get it engraved. And I'm like, oh, crap, it's going to be 5 years since our first episode. It's our 5 year. It's the Man Cave's 5 year anniversary.
I was out of town when our 5th year anniversary happened.
Your new job took you out of town.
Correct.
So I want to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the Man Cave Happy Hour.
Right.
And so I got the bottle, and I was plotting this, and I got the bottle etched. And what does the bottle say?
The bottle says Jamie Flanagan and Matt Fox 5 year anniversary.
That sounds like we're having an anniversary.
Well, because on the other side of the bottle it says Man Cave Happy.
Just Man Cave Happy Hour.
Just Man Cave Happy Hour.
So it should say Man Cave Happy Hour 5th anniversary. Jamie Flanagan and Matt Fox on the other side. But it says Jamie Flanagan and Matt Fox 5 year anniversary. So apparently you and I have been married for 5 years.
But I've known you since I was 19.
So we got started late.
Yeah, I'm 48 now. So,
my God.
It took you long enough. What the hell?
Oh, make an honest man out of you.
Longest court in history, for God's sakes.
Oh, for Christmas. That was...
But I promised you, I did promise you that I would not crack this bottle until we were...
Yeah, Brian Gluth came in, the brand rep for Old Forester and several other brands. But Brian came in and Augie and I, we tried like every expression of Old Forester there is.
Right.
Except...
the Statesman.
Pardon me, a Statesman! So it's like it's a special it's a special brew. It's a special brew. It's a special distill. It's a special bottling through the movie series, the Kingsmen,
right?
The Kingsmen, and it's a special licensing. That's the word I was looking for. It's a special licensing agreement.
Okay,
the word I was hankering for there. Special licensing agreement with the movie, the Kingsmen and Old Forester,
right?
And they have the Statesman, and it really plays heavily in the third. Is it? I think it's the third one.
I thought it was the second one. Maybe that is the third.
No, it's the last one. So
the
it's
Golden
the third.
Circle one?
Yeah, the third one.
Yeah.
No. There's the third one where they go back to like the origin story.
Oh, yeah.
Kingsman.
Yeah.
Not Kingsman, Kingsman. Whatever. But so the president of the United States, like 3 or 4 times, he's like, pour me a Statesman. He's like pissed off about it. He's in trouble for being a pig. And so he's like yelling at his butler, pour me a Statesman, and it's just hilarious. So, so it's the Old Forester. Pour me a Statesman.
So, for those of you that may not know, we're actually on. You probably don't know, but we're actually on our 2nd episode of the night.
Yeah.
So we had kind of already.
That'll be
very prevalent here in a moment. But one of the things that Mr. Flanagan, Jamie said when he gifted me this wonderful bottle of Statesman, he said it was probably one of the gayest things he's ever done.
Yes.
So I had to match Mr. James Flanagan.
Oh.
And here is a engraved glass.
Oh my God. You did it a little more correctly than I.
which says
JB Flanagan, Matt Fox, Man Cave Happy Hour 5-year anniversary. A little less gay.
So
November 2022. That's freaking brilliant, man.
Yeah, so got us a couple of glasses to commemorate our 5-year anniversary. So,
dude, that is magnificent.
So
that is.
I didn't put it in fashion man style. I didn't put it in a gift bag or
whatever. Oh yeah, no hell, man, because we're gonna drink out of this in a second.
Yeah, absolutely correct. So,
dude, I love this.
So, Merry Christmas, Jamie.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you.
I love you.
I for 5 years running. I love you. 5 years and then
known you for such a long time. You are my brother. So
who is it? Yeah.
But
all right. So we got to get something in glasses.
Yes, we do. So we are going to crack open this bottle of Statesman. All right, and I couldn't figure a better way to do it.
With the commemorative glasses.
Correct.
Much like the commemorative glass we had from the weekend at the Whiskey Classic.
Right.
Padre Azul Premium Tequila. Those guys were off the hook. The tequila was crazy. There'll be an episode about that if it hasn't aired. Look for it because it's really good information. Godfather Cigars is where we recorded our very first episode. Probably 2-3 others since then as well at the different locations in downtown Rochester and then in Shelby. They were sponsors, and the glasses there from that were very cool.
Yes.
But dude, this will be a prized possession.
Yeah, you can drink out of it whenever. You don't.
Colleen usually yells at me for bringing home another freaking glass or another freaking.
That's
t-shirt.
2 glasses in 1 week, man. How are you gonna feel about that?
Well, I think the Whiskey Classic might stay here at the studio. That's a big rocks glass.
That's a huge rocks glass. Yeah.
That's like hot tub for the night rocks glass.
There it is.
That's like, yeah, I just yeah. All right.
But I'm pouring the Statesman out.
All right, so the Statesman Old Forester. Do we know anything about this?
Well, I was trying to find some things on it, but we've been so busy.
I know.
It's been quite the adventure. But, I'm very excited because I've tried Old Forester in the past, and I've enjoyed Prohibition style. I've enjoyed the regular Old Forester or what have you. But I'm really interested about this Statesman and what it's and the difference between what I've had in the past, like the 1920 and the Prohibition style and what have you.
Old Forester, they do a really nice job of just paying homage to, much like the Highclere Castle that we were just enjoying the barrel aged, paying homage to the 100th anniversary of the discovery of Tutankhamun.
Yes.
Old Forester does an amazing job of paying homage to their history.
Right.
And the history of bourbon and the history of spirits in the United States. It's just amazing what they're able to do in the way they represent it. And then this fun thing with the Statesman, I just, I'm like, oh my God, my glass is so far away.
Oh my goodness.
I was just having fun.
I got you.
But this is, the color on this is extraordinarily caramely.
It's dark.
It's darker. It's a very rich coloration on this. And on the what proof are we coming in? How hot is it?
It's a 95 proof.
95. So that's nice.
Yeah,
that's not rip your head off, but it's a little higher than the minimum is 80 to be a bourbon, right?
Correct.
Our bourbon laws that we know and love, because it's got to be made in Kentucky. Wrong.
So
no,
wrong.
It doesn't have to. It could be anywhere. Hey, look, Matt. Guess what?
What's that?
There goes the neighborhood.
Oh my God! Tool is in the house. Holy shnikes! Tool.
What's up, boys?
Hey, Curly. All right. So here you go. In tribute to Pat Akerley joining the conversation,
Cool.
I got to do this.
So yeah,
A little private batch I picked up today.
Oof.
Very tasty.
There you are.
So
there you go. That's the Man Cave Happy Hour theme, sung and performed, written by our good friend here, Pat Akerley. We did that down at the Metro Music Cafe. That's not what it's called.
No,
that's that thing in Royal Oak from the 90s. Holy crap, did I just slip a cod.
Metro Music Cafe.
Remember the Metro Music Cafe, Tool? Oh my God. It was not Music City. Oh crap.
Wasn't
we
it like
were
Hockey Town Cafe or something? Like
Music
that?
Town. This was Music Town. All right, Music Town in Hockey Town.
There you go.
It's one of the radio conglomerates. Has the second floor of Hockey Town, and they allowed us to record the podcast there a couple times, and they record local acts and they do national acts when they're in town,
Right.
radio interviews. And so we were plugged in. And I was like, "Hey, Pat, you should come down," because his band from the 80s and 90s it plays some cool stuff. I love their music. I'm a big Beer on the Penguin was the name of the band. I'm a big groupie. And they had one song called Whiskey and Women. I'm like, "Oh, dude, you should come for the Man Cave Happy Hour and play Whiskey and Women and have fun." And he's like, "All right." He's, "I'll do it." And he came down and he's like, "Hey, you know what?" He goes, "I wrote a little song about it. Want to hear it? Here you go." And he's like, "Wrote a theme song for us."
Not only, Pat, did you write the song, but you said, "I need backup. Would you mind backing this up?" Because
you guys backed it up.
Yeah.
You and I backed that up.
Yeah.
So we were talking, speaking about some of the gayest things ever.
You caught that, did you?
Yeah, no, but Pat, I don't know if you caught this, because there's like you go to the store sometimes and they'll like, "Oh, we'll engrave your bottle," right?
Yeah.
And so I got this. If you see Matt holding up the bottle, if people watching on Facebook or YouTube, or you should do it. I was like, "Oh, I should get like some bottles. Oh, for the Man Cave, I should get up a couple bottles engraved." And then I'm like, "Oh, hell, we're coming up on the 5-year anniversary of our first broadcast."
Right.
I go, "I should do a 5-year anniversary of the Man Cave bottle and give it to Matt for the thing."
Yeah.
And so I tell the guy, he's like, "What do you want on one side? What do you want on the other?" I'm like, I'm like, on one side, I'm like, "Well, I want it big. I want it to say Man Cave Happy Hour big." So I have it. It says Man Cave Happy Hour really big on one side, and on the other side, it says Jamie Flanagan and Matt Fox 5-year anniversary.
Wow. It's almost like a prom glass or something.
There it is. See?
This is our prom date. So Matt is my perennial prom date. Yeah. I said it came out. As you look at it, it's like the gayest thing ever.
Hey, can I correct you on something though?
Yeah. What?
You said you were Beer on the Penguin's biggest groupie.
Yeah.
Dude, you were a member of the crew in the band, dude.
I know groupie. Well, it's like groupie is like, what did you see with all of them? Well, not all of them.
No. You were
not at the same time.
You were an integral part of the whole machine, dude.
Cheers. And I got my dad's drum kit. My father passed away, and it's like we cleaned out the house. I got his drum kit. Nice. If I can work myself up on the drum kit for a couple Penguin tunes,
listen,
I don't know.
You have by the time I get off my butt and actually get back into it, you have enough time to become a great drummer. So
I'm not kidding you. It's on the agenda.
You have
it's only taken me 35 years to think about doing it again. So
Pat, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate you. But yeah, it's like I'm so connected to you, and Matt and I are connected to you. Because it's like we do this like nearly every week, and you're there because you were there. We recorded it, and it's like you're here every time.
I wish I could be there every time. The three of Jamie, you and I broke young Matt in as a young man. We know that.
It's like I'm not able to drink at the DJ booth and sign lipsticks 2 again.
Wasn't even old enough to drink. We made him an intern, and our inside joke was, we're just going to make him DJ, and we could go drink. And
how high can we get our bar tab?
Oh, that's it. That was.
But what we didn't know is we were literally letting him become a great DJ, which is awesome in its own right.
Thank you.
And all these years later, 30 some years later, we're all still connected. You guys are connected a little bit more, but my lifelong friends, my lifelong brothers. I love you guys, man.
I love you too, man.
I'm gonna cry.
So yeah, Pat was, like I said, we expanded the Podcast Your Voice studios. One of my fraternity brothers, Bill, owns the building that we have the studio in, and he was like, "Hey, there's a space next to you. Do you want it? It's like I'll only triple your rent for half the space." No, I'm kidding. No, Bill gave me a monster deal, and I'm like, "Yeah, it'd be cool to have 2 spaces." And And we used to in Northville. We had this amazing table that we, I was like, but the broadcast table is just a monster.
Before you continue.
Yeah.
I've moved this table three times now. I believe.
Yeah.
Pat, how's your back?
Listen, Matt, that was a bear, and I can't believe there were two of them originally.
And we garbage picked them.
Jamie and I almost. I mean, we got it done, but it was not easy getting in the truck, getting out of the truck, getting in the studio,
up the stairs.
And I told him, there were two of them. We took them, we set them both on top of the Jeep.
Literally did.
And when I said I had it strapped down, because you looked at me like, dude, you're insane. He goes, did you have them strapped down? Well, like how when you're at the Home Depot and you got that little like nylon twine.
Yeah.
I had it strapped down with the nylon twine.
Was it twine? You didn't tell me that earlier. Oh my God.
Was there one hand?
And I said, Matt, I was like, it's like, we're not, but we did all side streets. I brought like industrial straps today. We didn't even need them, Yeah. It fit in the bed of his truck. So, and we were able to lift it and put it in the bed of the truck.
Where were you like 3 years ago?
Yeah. No, it's like,
hey, phone call away. He knows.
Yeah.
But thank you, Pat. I sent you a picture. It was almost there, and we'll have you back. And we got room enough to set up a little band here. We could do like
I'm in. Well, hey, we need to expand on the theme show song that was written in like 5 minutes before it came out, and so we need to like add to it a little bit, re-record it, and we'll do it live.
Totally in.
Love it.
Totally in. But we're right now. What Matt and I are tasting, we're doing the Old Forester Statesman. Have you seen the Kingsmen movies?
Yes.
Yeah. So there was the Kingsmen.
Mm-hmm.
What were they? What are they? The Kingsmen 2 or no? Kingsman, Golden Circle, and then Kingsman.
Kingsman, right?
And so the Kingsman was like the origin story.
Mm-hmm.
And the Golden Circle was all about the Texas, and their bourbon was a Statesman, right? They were all about Texas and the bourbon and the Statesman, but it seemed really secondary to the story in the Kingsman, the third one, because the guy who was playing the president, it's like he was like, "Give me a Statesman!" And it's like 2 or 3 times in the movie, he called up a Statesman. And it was like it just cracked me up. And so we were talking to the rep from Old Forester. And he said, "Yeah, it was." I was like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? I go, "Did you guys have the Statesman and they just use it for the movie?" Or,
mm-hmm.
And it was like it was a specific licensing and creation for the movie. So
that's cool.
Old Forester created it special for the movies. And Brian, like I said earlier, Brian Gluth, the rep of Old Forester, came in, and Augie and I tried everything because there's about 7 or 8, 9 different expressions of Old Forester. We tried them all except for the Statesman, and so Matt and I we're trying that tonight. We're doing that tonight. We just got a little in the glass and I'm enjoying it. So Matt, can you tell me about give me a Statesman?
So the Statesman itself, fellas, we always talk about mash bill, right? Mm-hmm. So this is a 95 proof. The mash bill on this is actually sitting at 72% corn.
Wow. Okay.
And that doesn't feel like 72%.
So corn. Bourbon, you have to be 51% or more. So we're at 72?
72.
Okay.
Corn. So
it doesn't smell corny?
No. You can be.
What's our aging? All right, go ahead. Keep going. Tell me more. Tell me more.
18% rye.
All right.
And then there's 10% malted barley on this.
Mm-hmm.
So on the nose, you might get that little cherry or brown sugar a little bit.
I'm getting sugary. I'm getting caramel. Well, the bourbon caramel. All right.
So,
but I'm getting brown sugar.
Maybe a little cookie-ish, little sugar cookie, maybe.
Okay.
On that as well. So it kind of fits well with the holidays.
Right.
If you're inviting a little bit, but surprisingly, there's a bit of intensity for the 95 proof because it has that more of a warmth feeling than you would at a $1.25.
Right.
At 95, I still get that same warmth that I would at a $1.25, but this is only a 95 personally. It's kind of strange, but it still works well on the palate because it's lingering, and I haven't had to visit it too many times because it's just continuing to stick around, if you will. And that's the thing, the oils that are in this thing and on the side of the glass, the way that it sits and just lingers on the side of the glass, the legs on there, I can tell why it's just hanging around my palate, man. It's just, it won't go away in a great way. So,
that sounds delicious, by the way. And
what do you drink?
The way you're describing it is making me thirsty. Well, I don't want to talk about another brand, but
it's what do you want tonight, man?
This is that Maker's Mark you hooked me up with earlier.
Test strength.
Is that the Oh, that's good stuff.
What is it? 112 proof?
12. Yeah.
112.
Those are all different though. When you go to the grocery, because you can get those like at your local, like Kroger or Meijer.
Mm-hmm.
This is so smooth.
Yeah.
But like Matt was talking about the heat and the lingering kind of like flavors that go down. This is one of the best drinks I've had in the last few months. It's just
nice.
It's tasty. It's smooth going down. There's great flavors, but there's no harshness to it. But then again, you're at 112, so like
it's a little warm.
How many rocks you have in there? How many rocks do you have in there right now?
He's iced up.
You're iced up?
I've got a few rocks in there. I was not gonna lie, I was on wine a little bit ago, so I just transferred over to have a nightcap. That's probably my one nightcap.
Yeah. Love it.
That's nice. So people downplay the Maker's Mark.
No, the Makers
delicious.
There's a couple of brands that don't get the
hype.
No, they're hyped. They're overhyped. They don't get the reverence or the respect that they deserve.
Okay.
And you see them all the time, and they're the standards. Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, Maker's Mark. So Beam and Daniels are your standard fare. In bars and weddings and catering halls.
Right.
Beam is a nice bourbon.
Yeah.
And you get the black.
Yeah.
And then some of their other expressions, like the Jim Beam Black, is like because it's got a little bit more toast in it, and a little bit more. That is a lot of fun. Beam for a mixer, and even just on the rocks itself,
Not bad.
and then the bourbon. We're gonna do this. We got an episode I showed you coming up, Pat. If you can make it down. I got a bottle. The bourbon of the year, according to Whiskey Advocates, is the Jack Daniels Bottled in Bond.
Really?
Right. You can find it. You can find it like at the K. Roger.
Can you?
Yep. It's at Kroger and Meijer and most all the stores. It's the square bottle, but the labeling slightly different. It's only like a quarter, although there's a label on it, but it's only the top quarter of it. But it's bottled in bond, so it's 100 proof, right? We know bottled in bond is 100 proof. It is a nice bottle. I haven't tried it. I bought one. I got it. I got it sitting because it came up as Whiskey Advocates Bourbon of the Year. And so we'll read into why, and we'll do an episode on that.
I'd love to.
So Pat, if you want to come down for that again,
that'd be cool.
Doors open. But yeah, I think they're underrated. I think Beam gets it's like because it's such a stock, it's such a standard, it gets underrated. Jack is its own taste, and it's definitely the Tennessee whiskey. And so it's got it's got its distinctive taste, and I think it gets underrated. And then Makers, I think it doesn't get the respect it deserves.
Oh yeah, a lot of those brands, they it's a cultural pyramid kind of thing. Like you associate Jack Daniels with bands and like it's like cheap and whatever, easy. But there's a lot of good stuff out there. Do you remember when we went to that Jack Daniels tasting years ago? And they went through all the different barreling process, and that was phenomenal. They had some great tasting stuff there. So, but I've been a Maker's Mark guy since the 90s, probably.
Wow.
So I mean, it's delicious. Like when I worked back at OMC Radio, one of the sales guys gave me one for when I got married. He gave me a bottle, that was my first foray into it. And,
do you still have it?
no. I drank it that weekend. I'm pretty sure.
That was young Pat. That
was young Pat. Yeah, he's not gonna.
I didn't make it out of the parking lot.
I asked the question for a reason, but
he could have gave me a Pappy Van Winkle. Would have been gone that weekend.
If you only knew what you do now, right?
Exactly.
So all right. So those are budget bottles, right?
Yeah.
The Jack and your Beam. They're somewhere between 19 and 20, 25 bucks somewhere. The bottle and bond was, I think, 30. I don't know. We'll look it up, but it wasn't too much. It was like under 35. I know that your makers are coming in anywhere between like 25 and 40 depending on which expression it is.
Like the Prohibition style, that's probably going to hit you around $45 or so.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head, just in past experiences with that. But the more
those are reasonably priced bottles. Pat, what is the most you would pay for a bottle of bourbon? Because you mentioned you threw out. Oh, if it was Pappy, I would have slammed it that night. And bottles of Pappy is like unless I find one like as some crazy unicorn on manufactured suggested retail price,
right?
And even their suggested is probably $100 or $200.
Like your Old Fitzgerald.
I would do it. Like Angel's Envy Rye is $99.
Right.
The Angel's Envy cask strength is like $150, $200. I'm gonna get. I do want to get an Angel's Envy cask strength to have like on the shelf to enjoy with. Like,
do you remember when we were talking to Tony from
Weingarten?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
and I think we asked him what was his most expensive bottle he has in his collection. He said he had a bottle worth $15,000.
Oh yeah,
a Pappy. He had a Pappy with $15,000. He was saving it for a special occasion, like his son's wedding or something. And then he said, "Or I'm saving it to trade in for a Porsche one day."
What you could do.
You should.
Eventually, he could do, right?
You're working man. He should.
I'm not there. I don't. What? How much would I pay for a bottle? I don't know. Like
so in general. All right. In general, what do you pay? What like when you're shopping? You go out. It's like I want a bottle. I want a decent. Bourbon.
Like I think.
Where are you at? And then what's your ceiling?
God, like 60, $70. I don't know. That's where I'm at normally when I buy it. But like this Makers I'm drinking right now is delicious. I don't know. My palate is like, well, this is really good. So
I think that was like 35 or 40.
Yeah. So anything more than that, I'm like, well, where's that taste break? Where's that ceiling at?
So how much better can it possibly be?
Right.
For that.
If all of a sudden I become really rich, it doesn't matter. Then I'll buy the $15,000 bottle of Pappy. So it doesn't matter, But I would be curious to taste it. I want to see what that.
Yeah, I want to
taste difference. Yeah, I want to taste it. It's funny because we were at a family get together not too long ago, and I have a cousin who has a little bit of money. We were talking about my brother buying a $125 shot of Pappy for his birthday.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's insane. I go, I would never spend $100 on a shot of whiskey. And my brother was like, I had to do it. It was for my birthday and whatever.
Well, you don't shoot that. You sit there.
He sipped
just
it.
Put that out there. You don't shoot that.
Did he shoot it?
He had two of them. His wife bought two of them for him, so $250.
Oh.
And he sipped them. He sipped them all night.
Nice.
And the funny thing is, my cousin who has the money to do that, like he could buy the $15,000 bottle. He said, I would never in my life spend $125 on a shot of liquor.
That was very nice of his wife to buy that for him.
Exactly.
Well, and that's the thing, it's like.
But my wife bought me a guitar this weekend, so I'll take that over the whiskey. Yeah.
Oh, he got a couple. You show me pictures.
Oh,
yeah. You got a couple sexy guitars.
Nice.
So my ceiling on a bourbon, on buying a bottle.
Yeah.
Probably, I something that if I really really wanted, it's really really special. $200 would be a ceiling.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful gift.
And I could do that. I could do that if it was really special, but I just don't know why I would, because the things I've tasted under $100 have satisfied me. You know what I mean?
But if you want to spend $200 on a bottle for somebody, you have to know that they're into those types of things.
Exactly.
So you could get them a bottle of Jim Beam and they'd be like, "Oh my God, this is great," or they're gonna be like, "What the are you doing?"
I'm usually bouncing between 30 and 70 though. I'm usually bouncing between 30 and 70.
That's fair.
For
fair.
Daily drinkers and fun drinkers.
Yeah.
And, 30 and 70. Mm-hmm. It's like because you get we have like it's amazing at doing the show. We've like garnered a lot of like party store friends. So we got Yvonne,
we got a few
Yvonne over at A&B Liquor.
Right, we just saw them this weekend.
We got Joe and Giovanni over at Keiko's. Joe and Giovanni. They went to U of M Dearborn with me. We were there at the same time. I didn't know it. Yep. And they're like, "Oh, you were like those crazy frat boys in the mall." It's like, "Oh yeah, that was us." And then Tony over at the Wine Garden, and so those are kind of our hookups and our really good friends, and so they do barrel picks, but they do all. And Yvonne does like so. He was doing like the 12 barrels of Christmas. He's releasing like a barrel. He's got like we got 7 more days till Christmas. He's got like 6 more days. He's got 6 more barrels he's releasing between now and Christmas. He's released like every day in December another. He's like 20 barrels. And he's 2 of them, 2 or 3 of them sold out.
And people will listen to this whenever, however, but he is not putting that out on the social medias.
No, he's
just because he doesn't like the lines.
Pat, have you heard about the Blantons?
The what?
Blantons?
No,
you don't. Blantons.
Blanton's bourbon. It's got the horse on top of it.
It's an orb.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
All right. So so everybody's like kooky about the Blantons, right? So it's from the Buffalo Trace Distillery. So you got Buffalo Trace. Eagle Rare is supposedly a step up from that. Although on a day to day, it's a coin toss for me of which one I like more. So you got the Buffalo Trace. You got the Eagle Rare, which is a 10-year, and then Blanton's, which is supposed to be a step up from that. And the manufacturer suggested retail on those are like 60, 65.
Right. But you're seeing
people
bottles
are
at
$200-$300.
Yeah.
Now, when it's a store pick, when it's a barrel pick, usually it's more expensive because you never know how many bottles you're going to get out of the barrel. Yada yada yada.
Right.
So, for a store pick, it would be a reasonable manufacturer price for 100 or less. Even 125 or less would be like the standard shelf price for that. And there's a store, it's Harper Liquorland. I don't know the cats there, but they do a lot of bourbons over there. And they were releasing their bottle. They were pumping it up. And it's like, on the 18th or whatever, we're releasing the barrel. 8 a.m. in the morning. People were lining up Friday night for Saturday morning to buy this.
Yeah.
And it was like balls cold. It was like
they were outside freezing their nuts off to buy a bottle.
Seriously, it was like it was below freezing. It was under 32 degrees. It was like in the upper 20s. And people were lined up like after midnight for the 8 a.m. opening to get in there to buy a bottle of this Blanton's.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy crap. And then Evan over at A&B is like, he goes, I just released the barrel yesterday. He goes, but I didn't publicize it at all. He goes, I got a ton sitting on the shelf. He goes, you want one? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I go put 2 on the counter. Matt and I'll be up. We'll grab them.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's fun. We meet cool people. And it's we're having a lot of fun with the bourbons.
Well, two questions.
Yep.
One, when's the Man Cave happy hour going to get their own barrel?
Ooh, good question.
We got one. We got one brewing over at Makers.
We do.
All right. Do you really?
Yeah, we do. Actually.
All right. Okay, answer that question. Second one, I forgot to show you this earlier. I bought this at a estate sale.
Please don't let there be a zipper sound next.
For $1. I thought of you. For $1.
Zip.
This is a $1 bill.
$1.
This is an old whiskey bottle. Not old, but probably maybe 30 years old.
Is it cracked?
You might appreciate it. Can you read it? I don't know. Hold on.
Oh, is it?
Oh, what is that?
Can I get it in there? I don't know.
I can't see it. Hold on. Let me.
It's not Bushmills. It's
Let me do this.
Is it Bushmills?
What is it?
This is. I don't know if you guys can see it. My light in here is bad. Tullamore Dew Distillery, Ireland.
Yeah, the Tullamore Dews, they do those little casks. Those are great.
That's cool. This is from the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
I can't get the top. It's empty, but I can't get the cork off. It's sealed. So it's going to be a shelf decoration. But I thought it was kind of cool. I thought of you when I've got it. It's a buck.
Yeah.
Good
cool
stuff.
I buy crap for the bar.
That's my goal, is to go pass out in the Ottawa Tavern there.
Oh.
Where's the Ottawa? There it is. Ottawa Tavern.
There it is.
Oh, all trademarks infringed. Did you lacquer that? Did you?
Oh, dude. So I
did you dial that up a little bit?
That thing was dried out and cracking so bad I had to fill in all of the cracks with wood glue, clamp it. Once it was on clamp, I had to sand the whole thing down, both sides, and then I sealed it like probably 15 coats of polyurethane.
It looks shiny.
Oh, dude, that thing's gonna last another 100 years. Easy.
There's some I don't know if it's fit for broadcast stories behind the Ottawa Tavern sign.
Not 100%. I stole it.
All right, I stole it.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, it is the beer on the Penguins. The beer on the Penguins. You know, you got to add an and an S at the end of it because
statute of limitations.
Because there's and
in fairness to myself and the band, steel is a kind of a funny word because they owed us. They were supposed to pay us for 2 nights of playing. After the first night, he told us to take our equipment home. We said, well, we're playing here tomorrow. It's Toledo. We got an hour drive. Why would we take it home? We're playing here tomorrow. He said, well, I can't guarantee the safety of your equipment. So the bouncer said, what he's saying is if you don't take it home, some of the stuff might get stolen. Yeah. We took everything home. Well, when we came back down the next day for sound check, the owner came out and said, what are you doing here? You guys took your equipment home last night. I figured you quit. I got somebody else for tonight.
Yeah, he was an oh my god.
Oh, it was a bait and switch because we had a contract to two nights, and if you didn't do the 2 nights, you didn't get. It was only like $500, $250 a night. So if you didn't do the 2 nights, you didn't get the $500. So we did the 1 night, and he's going to get it for free by firing us and getting somebody else.
What?
We called him on it.
Is your sound to me?
Yep.
So it was great. It was like
Jamie knows the story.
Manager Todd was out there. Carrie was guitar brother. Todd was his brother, the manager, and arguing with Todd. Todd's like he was pre-law. I thought he was pre-med. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But he was pre-law, and he was ready for a fight. And he's great at arguing. And so he's like, no, but our contract. And the owner was like, don't raise your sound to me. And Todd's like great at arguing. Todd is like good. And he'll be calm until things get unreasonable. And then Todd is very, very good at getting unreasonable. Yeah. And it got unreasonable. And it got so unreasonable that we left with apparently their sign in our van.
Well, when it got unreasonable inside, I on my way out said, I'm not leaving this bar without $500 worth of value. So I took a neon guitar off
or
the wall,
damage,
unplugged it, took it off the wall, and started walking out with it. Well, then a bouncer met me at the door and said, "You're either going to leave that here, or you're going to deal with us." And I didn't want to get my butt kicked, so I put the sign down, and we walked outside. A few profanities, whatever. But when we got in the van and we're leaving, and we're driving out of the parking lot, I said, "Stop, pull over." On the wall, about 20 feet up, was the Ottawa Tavern sign on the side of the building.
He shimmies on top of the van.
We pulled the van up. I got on top of the van, jumped up, grabbed it, pulled it off the wall, bolts and all, and said, "Go, go, 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 go." And we drove down the street. I was on top of the van with the sign down the street. We got down the street. I got down, we put it in the van, and we drove it home. It's been in my possession ever since. Yeah,
that statute of limitation passed a long time ago. You're good.
It's funny.
The fun thing is there's a new owner of the Ottawa Tavern. This is the fun thing. Yeah. And I met a friend of his down in Ohio, so it's kind of fun. And I told him the story, and the guy goes, "Dude, that's the best story ever. I'm going to tell my buddy he owns the new Ottawa Tavern, and he's buying up all the memorabilia from
the original.
Holy crap!
So how would you like the original size?
So you could get you could finally get your $500.
You would think.
I told him, I said, "You want it? It's $1,500." And he responded back through the guy. He said, "Tell him I don't know if the statute of limitations is over, but we will report it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, it's been 35, 40 years. So, yeah, I think we're good.
I think we're good for minor property damage.
So in my will, I'm going to tell my son, when I die, if you don't want it, put it in a burn pile and burn it. It's not going back to the original bar.
No, I would say take it and burn it in the parking lot.
So Pat, help me understand. You are a teacher. And
well,
what district exactly?
Thanks, Matt.
No, but I have
at what district?
Right.
And,
yeah.
No, but you and I have known each other for a long time. But there's something that you do now that I have one of my favorite teachers back from school age or what have you was my drama teacher.
I'm a drama teacher.
You're a drama teacher, are you?
I do the plays. Yeah.
That is something that's like full circle for me because my favorite teacher was a drama teacher. Now one of my closest friends, good friends, is a drama teacher, and I learned a lot from the two of you, but from you, Pat, on the DJ side, right? Mixing music and what have you, and doing little loops and such. I still do that to this day when I'm playing music.
You were like, for me and Jamie, when Jamie James and Tool were doing our bar gigs and stuff, you were a godsend, dude. Like, we were a couple of guys who, although, people like what we played or whatever, but, and I'll put more of that on Jamie than me, but, I don't like to say fake it till you make it, but we had a sense for music, but we also wanted to just be there to have fun. We wanted to go there and party, and we're like, okay, we got a job to do, but we want to party and have fun and meet people more than anything. So Jamie's like, I got an intern, this young guy, Matt Fox, and he wants to learn how to DJ, and so I'm bringing him out. And like when you first came out, you were so hungry and didn't know a whole lot, but like
I was 19.
A lot of what you developed was all on your own, just being there. Like, I don't think we really taught you anything. I think you just absorbed it.
One of my favorite memories. One of my favorite memories was I was playing 9 Inch Nails Closer.
Yes.
And I was mixing in the first 8 seconds of the Smiths.
Which I stole from you 8 million times after that.
And it was
brilliant.
Because it was an 89X night, and Kelly Brown was hosting. And she comes running up to the DJ booth. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Pardon my French, but I was young. I'm like, I thought I had messed up. And she goes, "That is the coolest thing ever."
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing.
I was standing at the bar on drinking beer and talking to people, and I heard it in the background. I was like, wait, Matt's not, he's playing the songs we told him to play, because Jamie and I
not in the exact order.
CDs. We give you a stack of CDs and go play these. And I'm like, those are songs we told him to play, but all of a sudden he's mixing them. What is he doing?
He's making us look bad.
And all of a sudden it became like a request, and we're like, "Oh, do that 9 Inch Nails, Smith's thing." And I'm like, "Oh, that's Matt's thing." But honestly, it was brilliant, and I stole that a million times. When I did Jacks on the Water, I would do that. People lose their minds, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm brilliant. I'm brilliant." Thank you. You're welcome, everybody.
I think it was an amalgamation in a collaboration of fun. And we walked into because Pat, you and I, we did that together. I tagged you in. I got the gig, and then I tagged you in. We walked into a good situation because the alternative music scene was like just starting to blossom.
This was like 92
in the
91, 92,
the early 90s. And it was just, things were just starting to click. But they were doing the alternative stuff there for a while. Darren Ravel was there, Paul Agree was there, Davo was there, DJ Bill was there, and they all ellipsed on the alternative night. And they all left for one reason or another.
Thursdays and Sundays.
I tagged in after DJ Paul, and I brought Pat in to help me. And we were just having a riot. And so we had a built-in crowd. But I think, Pat, to our credit, we played stuff that, because we'd throw in Ray Charles doing Ring of Fire.
Because
Johnny Cash.
What they didn't get is they were 89X DJs. So they were just trying to play cool alternative music.
Yeah.
You and I had our history as wedding DJs. And going into a bar and being a wedding DJ isn't cool. But when you are also in band and being alternative music and doing all these things, we would throw in those cool wedding songs and
not even cool wedding songs, but just cool stuff and like from your
like make it appropriate. Like
like who plays the Rolling Stones Monkey Man?
Who plays
at the bar?
Who does play the Doors? Peace Frog. Who pulls Peace Frog out of their ass?
Peace Frog.
And to the point where it became such a thing that they decided to put that song in the commercial for their bar night on a Sunday night.
Not only that, Alice like Kelly Brown, let me and Jamie write the script. Remember, like it was like lipsticks, come out for dance floor debauchery.
Yeah,
and that was our
let a couple majors start writing stuff when they're drinking. Sure, yeah.
They're like, let them write the commercial. They played Peace Frog in the commercial because it was part of our set. And we're like, we're drinking beer. They're paying our $300 or $400 bar tab for the customers. And Matt Fox is DJing. We're not even DJing anymore.
So that was the fun, interesting thing about the night. Yeah. It's like they were like, okay, you guys have an open bar tab because we don't pay you. We didn't get paid much of nothing for doing it. But you have an open bar tab, and you can buy drinks for people. Just make sure people are having fun, right? So buy some shots, buy a round of shots for that table. Do that. So we would buy shots, and there was like a couple of nights where we're like, I wonder how high we can get the bar tab without getting in trouble. And we cranked it, and the owner and the manager Dave was like, guys, really?
Ottawa Tavern, nothing. Watch this.
Oh my God. There was one night.
Well, hold this case of beer because it's on the house.
There was one night, Sergei Fedorov. And,
here we go.
Brendan Shanahan, Red Wings, we all know who they are, were in the bar, and I was losing I was losing my mind, right? I'm like, Sergei Fedorov, whatever. And so Dave was like, you guys, you want to hook them up with drinks or whatever, have at it.
Yeah.
So I went over and I'm like, hey, I'm a big fan, whatever. I go, I'm DJing it. You guys want to hear anything? Let us know. And I tell the bartender, I go, their drinks are on us. They go back into a private booth. At the end of the night, Dave cashes us out. He's like, dude, you guys seriously ran up a $400 bar tab? And I'm like, you guys said have at it. Like, hook everybody. And it wasn't
Sergey well.
Oh, it wasn't the first time we ran those kind of tabs.
We had a lot of fun. There was another night.
Thanks, Wayne.
Yeah, thanks, Wayne. It was right after the Wings had won one of their Stanley Cups.
Yeah, and it was fresh.
It was an off Tuesday night, and it was my buddy's birthday. It was my buddy Aaron's birthday. And I think it was a Tuesday night. I was DJing or what have you, and Sergey comes walking into Lipsticks too.
Yeah.
But the thing with Aaron's birthday, we had we're having fun with him, and we got him some blow up animal.
Oh my God, sheep!
Some blow up animal sheep or what have you. And he's walking around Lipsticks too with these blow up animal dolls in his arms. Fun. And Sergey comes walking in the door, and he just tosses him aside, and he gets Sergey's autograph at the same time. My God, that place has got so many memories for the three of us.
Oh yeah.
Just watching the two of you party while I'm up having a party of my own.
Well, I think your 21st birthday party was very memorable for me.
I don't remember shit. To be honest with you.
I slept in my station wagon in the
fuzzy mat.
Yeah. Hey boys, my phone's at 1%, so my phone's gonna probably die in a second.
All right, brother.
I'm gonna try to charge it up and check back in with you guys if I can.
We're good. We're wrapping shortly.
Are you almost wrapping up? I love you both, man.
Hey, cheers. Glad you chimed in.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. Your timing was perfect. Thank you, sir.
We needed that.
All right, brothers.
Cheers.
Love you. And speaking of love you, Matt Fox.
Jamie.
The Statesman was gorgeous.
The Statesman is actually really
that is nice.
See, that's the whole point of a bourbon. It's a great bourbon, but it just created story time.
I defer you to the banner behind us. It's whiskey, spirits, and the stories
that go along
with it. I mean, that's the whole thing right there. It's it's the whiskey, cigar, spirits, and the stories that go along with it. And that was it. So it's just a ton of fun. We had fun this weekend talking to the cats over at the Whiskey Classic.
Yep.
The Padre Azul.
Benchmark.
And the cats over at Benchmark. And then it's at Traverse City Whiskey.
We have to have Jesus on.
We were talking about, he's really busy because he's got a big birthday coming up.
Does he?
Jesus, yes, he's got a big birthday.
Well, Jesus does, but Jesus from Traverse City Whiskey. We have
I just like being culturally sensitive.
We had Mike DiMercurio. We actually sat down with him as well, but that episode's coming up as well. So there's so many things going on, and we've got.
But it was great stories with those guys.
Yeah, it really was. But we got 2023, being that we're coming into the end of 2022.
Yep.
Stick with us throughout the year of 2023. We've got a lot of fun things coming up.
We're hitting the streets.
Honestly.
The cats, there's a podcast called What Are You Drinking, What Are You Smoking?
Who?
What Are You Drinking, What Are You Smoking?
Okay.
Or What Are You Smoking? I think it's What Are You Smoking, What Are You Drinking? And he records out of the Shelby episode of the Godfather. Not episode, location.
The Shelby Township location.
Yeah, I want to call it an episode.
Yeah.
But so we did one episode there. But we're gonna hang out with him. So we're a bunch of stuff on the road. So if you're in the Metro Detroit area and you want to party with us,
just stick around and have a good time.
Yeah. We're gonna do it again. It's the Man Cave Happy Hour, mancavehappyhour.com. If you're hung out this long, all the podcast things and all the podcast spaces.
Correct.
Wearingfunny.com to get fun, cool, old rock and roll t-shirt beer. You get to all your Patrick Akerley beer on the Penguin t-shirts.
His timing was impeccable.
It's funny. No, it's he's got a nephew, and because I got that, we got the wearingfunny.com, and I got all kinds of stuff up there. And I was like, I sold like 4 beer on the Penguin t-shirts one day, and I'm like, and it was like some dude somewhere in Ohio, and I'm like, what the hell? And I messaged Pat, I'm like, do you know somebody named so and so in Ohio? He's like, oh, it's like my cousin. I'm like, oh, you just bought 4 beer on the Penguin t-shirts. But there's other cool Detroit t-shirts and rock and roll and funny, and then the Man Cave Happy Hour shirts. So all the podcast things, all the podcast spaces, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Comments are
gold
to us. So we appreciate
just like the Heifler Castle barrel aged gin, liquid gold over there.
Yes. So I don't know what else you have to say.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Love you.
Love you.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.